So welcome to another unboxing video from theplayersaid.com. My name's Alexander, and today we're taking a look at a brand new game from GMT Games called Charioteer, Race for Glory in Ancient Rome. Okay, and this is a game designed by Matt Calkins, and this is a multiplayer, plays from 2 to 6, so I don't think there's a solo option in this. Multiplayer Chariot Circus Maximus style racing game. So not a war game. It takes, it says 1 to 2 hours. Probably depends on player count, but I'm not quite sure. But this is a one of those fun games that's rocking and rolling and just a fun, I don't know, a chariot racing game. There's a number of them. We've actually played a couple, although my recollection of those is not great. But big 3-inch box. This is quite heavy. There's a lot of stuff in it. But this has been, I mean, we saw a little demo copy of this at WBC, but there wasn't anyone to teach us, and it was a pre-production copy, so very excited to get this to the table and get this played. So, first off, you're slaying it with the artwork here. I love this style of artwork, and it's also just something that, this is just, great artwork anyway, but I love the stylized version that you've got in here. It's just a nice change, like it's a breath of fresh air compared to, a lot of the artwork that we are subject to in wargaming. So that was very nice of them to do that. Like a good board game, here's a pictorial diagram for setup and explanation of all the components. Every game should have this. So very, 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 very happy about that. And then so the rules start immediately with the turn cycle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, it really is like 8 pages of rules. And then some designer notes on the back. But this is a very thin, look at how much of this is examples. So I'm very excited to learn to play this. At the time of recording, this is like a Tuesday. We're planning to play this Saturday with some family. So we're going to get a big game of this in. So hopefully we'll let you know how this is fairly sharpish. So there's 2 big boards, and they made them 2 because it's long and thin versus kind of a 22 by 34. We'll take a look at those here in just a second. We have our little player mats. Well, that went off the table. That come in a number of different colors. So there was the blue one that's on the floor, white, green, yellow, pink, and blue. So that's quite good. And those are little, these are just card stock. We have a bag that I believe a lot of these wooden pieces go into. There is a die, which is a custom die with symbols on it, but that was in its own little baggie, sealed for freshness, so that's nice. We have a big old deck of cards, 2 stickers for the lap marker, lap 1 and lap 2. And a little small deck of cards here as well. This is a shipping insert, so we will set that aside for now. Okay. Let's crack open some of this wood here. So, here we go. There is a number of different type of pieces here. So, the first thing to start with is our sweet, sweet little chariot pieces. And so these are custom meeples. You can see it's a horse drawing a little chariot and then the charioteer on top of the chariot. And they come in all the different player colors. But that's what's going to be on the board, tracking your position on the track. This is going to be the lap marker that we're going to have to put these stickers on, I would imagine. Only because that's the only one that's sized appropriately. But that's the only stickering you gotta do, just the 2 stickers, so you don't have to have no PTSD from commands and colors or anything like that. There is a set of these very large, these are different shape. Well, that's very interesting. These different cylinders is what you would call them in any other game, but this one, for example, has 8 sides. This one also has 8, but it's more squared off. And then this one has 8 sides, but these are very oddly shaped. These are not interesting. Maybe we just got some bum ones. That is possible, which, if that's the case, yeah, a couple of these are kind of funkily shaped, so, but most of them are regular shaped. So maybe just ignore us on this one. Again, this isn't what you're going to get most likely, but look at how one's much more square, this one's kind of thin at one end and like a teardrop almost. But the rest of them are not like that. Like, these are not, none of the rest of these are like that. So we're just going to call those the octagonal prisms, I guess. But anyway, then there's player markers. There's a set of 8, I think, in each player color. And there might be a set of extra ones that are black. Or are these the player markers? Did they do black instead of blue? That doesn't seem like something they would have done, but it might be. There's red, yellow, green, white, yellow, red, black. And what color did I drop on the floor? Of course it's upside down. Well, a light blue. So you take a player piece of each color. So you get 5 of these, of the white ones. Interesting. But yes, all player pieces. And then we have a bunch of different blue cubes. So these octagonal pieces, you're going to line them up here, and these are going to be your different starting skills, things like that. And then you'll have a set of these ones, I believe. And that's going to determine and regulate movement and card draws. And the blue cubes are your damage cubes. So it's lots of different bits and pieces, and we'll have to get a system to organize these. These bags are pretty nice, so maybe we'll just keep those. But then a couple decks of cards, so we have our skill cards. And the skill cards are the much smaller deck that you get in here. I wonder if there's more at the bottom, and that's just how they packed them. No, it doesn't look like it. So the skill cards presumably afford you a bonus on those particular things that you're trying to do: attacking, recovery, taking corners, and sprinting. We have a massive deck of cards here. Oh, if I could open it properly. And this is the Charioteer deck. This is going to be your movement. So it's not like well, it's not like Thunder Alley, but I think in the sense that you have a deck of cards that fuels the movement of the game. It shares that in its DNA, but that's pretty much where it ends. If I could open the cards, which I'm having a real hard time with today, and I'm too lazy to get up. Here we go. Okay, so this massive Charioteer deck. So this has the same artwork on the back as you do on the front of the rule book. But so this is sprinting, this was attacking, this was recovering, and the black ones are taking corners. So I think these are going to help you and aid you in doing those things and doing them well. And then there's a whip symbol, which was referenced at the back of the book, presumably to go faster or to like double move, to, you know, and I'm sure that you get punished for that. You can whip your horses, maybe get an extra bit of speed, but they'll be fatigued extra at the end of that, or they might take damage as a result of that. So that's all of that. And then the board itself, which we talked about, again, there's a lot of pieces in this game. So the first board is here, and it's pretty much exactly what you would think, right? The spaces are going to regulate movement, and as you go around corners, you'll have these extra spaces out here, taking the inside track, taking the outside track, exactly what you would expect from a racing type game. And there's also a lot of holding boxes in the middle of the board for different card placements. And then the other one, which will just go adjacent to it, holds the crowd card, and then the little Emperor die, which was this one here, which has the matching movement symbols, maybe a wild, and then a probably not good symbol. But that's the board. This is, again, we play a lot of war games, we play a lot of historical simulations. Sometimes you just want to have a game that's for fun, and hey, we got to have the all the chariot racing from the famous films that you've watched. So that was a look at Charioteer. Again, we actually already have plans to play this on the weekend, so hopefully we'll get together and have a fun time with this and let you know how this is, if there's something worth checking into. But I'm looking for a fast, fun-playing chariot game where it's, you know, ramming into each other, whipping each other, racing, being a little bit strategic and tactical in how you're doing those things. So I'm very excited for this game. Even though it's not a war game, it's the kind of game that, if we do play for fun, happens to have a historical theme. So it's also, you know, it's a little added bonus on there as well. So appreciate you very much for tuning in. That was a look at Charioteer from GMT Games. I've been Alexander from thePlayersaid.com.